Have you ever been able to hear the color 9? Me neither, but certain people with sound to color synesthesia have the ability to understand music in ways sometimes people without synesthesia will never be able to understand. The brain is an infinitely complicated organ which is hugely affected by both playing and listening to music. Through 6 years of playing saxophone, guitar, bass, drums, and vocals, I've spent several hours discovering how it's affected mine and my colleagues' minds. Music has a huge influence on the brain, and the three aspects it affects include memory, childhood development, and growth of the right brain. Have you ever listened to such a good song that you've played it on loop the entire day, maybe even a whole week? I sure have, and I know sometimes it can be a bit much, but it's relieving for me to know that although I may be listening to the same thing over and over again, I'm still strengthening my brain more than if I weren't listening to music. Since I have such a strong passion for music, I would like to share some of the reasons others might want to explore music more than they already do. I'm sure they'll find that there are almost infinitely more benefits to listening to and playing music than there are negative effects. To start, listening to music greatly strengthens memory. According to Margaret, listening to music trains the brain to have a stronger auditory memory, specifically increased activity in the frontal cortex. Listening to music trains the brain to have stronger long-term memory. According to Pantev, the human brain has the ability to consciously retrieve memories and melodies lost in the working memory. Also, learning intervals and their relations can be locked into long-term memory. For example, a perfect fourth, which is do, fa, can sound exactly like the song Here Comes the Bride. Here comes the bride. Also, listening to music trains the brain to have a stronger procedural memory. Seeing a piece of music, translating it into music, and performing it all requires the use of memory. For example, which keys to press, what a specific rhythm looks like, etc. Music is proven to greatly increase memory along with other cognitive aspects of the brain, but one of the most important times for development to happen is in childhood. Listening to music as a child greatly strengthens the brain's growth and development. They can improve their motor skills through music, through tapping their hands to music or dancing, which encourages both motor skills and creative expression. In general, music strengthens cognitive development for children. When a child is committed to learning music, they have an increased focus and concentration, as well as children who play instruments statistically have much more coordination at a younger age than kids who do not play an instrument, which is according to Alec. Listening to and playing music aids in other fields of learning as well. Since music is a language, as children learn both their primary language, in the case of most American families being English, they're also learning music, which is a language of its own, teaching them to be bilingual, which is very, very healthy for the mind. It also encourages creativity, which can be applied to learning other types of information, according to Chamberlain. Childhood is one of the most important developmental stages in life, but music's influence doesn't stop after childhood. Throughout a person's entire life, music has the potential to strengthen their right brain for many reasons. To start, imagination, construction, and reflection are all cognitive processes learned in music. According to Campbell, there's a great amount of transferability of knowledge and skills to other contexts and settings of music players. Creativity is essential for teaching and learning. Along with that, music teaches open-mindedness to other thought processes. Recently, there's been a more inclusive view of non-Western music cultures and their arts, according to Pantev. Music also forces people to think outside of their usual thought process. And last but not least, creativity in music inspires a feeling of independence and ownership in people. When people create music, it sparks something in the right brain unlike anybody else's creation before. And according to Perry, music sparks many different kinds of emotions, all of which come from the right brain. It's noticeable that the right brain is strengthened by listening to music, and it sparks much more than just creativity in people. It also brings open-mindedness, emotions, and creative thinking. Listening to music has a huge amount of effects on the brain. It's very clear that music has an overwhelmingly positive effect as opposed to a negative effect. Looking back on the 6 years of my life, I could be concerned that I decided to go down a musical route with my career. However, now that I've done research on all the benefits of music of the brain, I'm comfortable knowing that regardless of what happens with my career, I will be doing something very beneficial for my brain for the rest of my life. Thank you.